And we're live.
How's it going, Shane?
Hello, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
How are you? How's the Naval Park today?
Yeah, the Naval Park's pretty quiet today. We were, I guess, jumping right in, right? We were planning on opening today, and we did get some snow. So the call was made to push back our opening. I liked your title card there, right? You have the cross off 23 and just kind of hand wrote 27.
Yeah.
So it was good. Hi everyone. We have 5 viewers right now. So maybe Charlton. Hey, how are you? And Ed, how is it going with you? Uh, and others. And again, please leave comments, things like that. We have a short little outline that we're going to get to, Stephen and I, and then of course answer questions, comments, things like that. Hey, Eric, how are you? I guess we have to wait another year for the Sabres, but that's okay. I'm a diehard fan, so like his little handle picture is a Sabres emblem. So,
Yeah, they're actually coming up now on mine.
oh, okay,
So I
good.
don't
Yeah,
know.
all right,
Yeah.
good.
Listen, I was watching something yesterday and they said that the Devils could go 10-3-0 to finish the season and make the playoffs. So if they could do it, the Sabres could probably go what, 11-2-0 and
Well,
make
we've
it?
played a lot more games than other teams, and we got shellacked. I think it was yesterday. So, yeah, our window is closing quite rapidly. I mean, even if I'm sure, even if we went ran the table, we would only have jumped teams by 2 or 3 points, right? So, uh, or maybe four. So and then they have to lose, like they have to be like 0-8 or something at the end. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Uh, Sorry, we're getting into some hockey here. That's good. It's good that uh, you know 85% of the teams that are in the playoffs by Christmas are the teams that are in the playoffs. Like it just is
Yeah.
for hockey. That's the way it is. Anyway, thanks for being here, Eric. Thank you, and everyone, Charlton and Eric and Ed and others. We have 8 people watching. So, Stephen, yeah, it's we were planning on opening. We're going to have a ceremony. We're going to have first person on board, and then open up the ships. But we did get some snow, so we pushed it off until Wednesday, the 27th, when it's supposed to be 55 degrees or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But that's what's going on down here today. Uh, First
And
off,
just to talk about Wednesday real quick, we're gonna live stream the ceremony. So hopefully the weather's better and you guys could watch that live stream as well. But
yeah,
instead, you're stuck with us here on this snowy day. But
and
not opening up today, we thought, at least let's touch out to our base and just give them a semi-opening day,
yeah,
an
that's a good
opening day
call.
kinda.
I agree. I think that's. I think Charlton said maybe we were down in Philadelphia watching the New Jersey go to dry dock. So we did watch some of the dry dock. I mean, again, it was during work, so we were working, but we did check in a little bit. There's a lot of news coverage. I think their feed got jumbled up, maybe with all the people trying to log on. So I kind of caught that prior to 11 a.m. ceremony thing, but it was really jumpy, and then I just kind of checked in randomly throughout the day. I saw a lot of the news stations covering it. There's also a lot of drone footage from individuals that have their own drones. So it's something when we're using it towards, let's see what other ships have done to market and promote their dry docks, and then what we can do is learn from them. Again, we're looking to have both the Sullivans and the Croker go out at the same time. So
Are you gonna ride the croaker like on top, like you're surfing the croaker across Lake Erie?
yeah, I'd love to be the bridges and stuff aren't like they are today, right? But it would be pretty fabulous. Uh, I think that's something that some of us might be pushing for is to have staff on board, but safety concerns. There'll be a safety brief. I'm sure there'll be professionals on board as well. Um, monitoring obviously throughout the whole ship's 24 hours a day, because our dry dock, I think they said the New Jersey's was about 4-hour trip. I think ours will be a 22-hour trip or something.
So where the dry dock is in Philadelphia? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, it was
Or-
where she was constructed. It's a new name now, which I don't have offhand, but it was where she was constructed. So where was she constructed? I mean, New York Shipyard. I can't remember offhand, or maybe I never knew. But now it's a private. It's a private yard, I think. So yeah, just kind of going down the river there, or up the river, maybe. But it was quite a spectacle. You okay?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just looking to see. Philadelphia Naval Shipyard was the name of it at the time.
Okay. I said New York ship. Oh my God.
It is now known as the Navy Yard.
Oh, I thought they were going to somewhere private, like Mistral or Astral.
Well, no, I'm just saying this is the one that that she was built at.
Constructed at. Yeah, the Philadelphia shipyard. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is where we picked up our 2 ships back in 77. Hey, we have someone walking around. How about that? Okay. Yep, there it is. Thanks, Ed. Philadelphia shipyard. All right. Well, do you want to talk a little bit about 29 and 29?
Yeah. First, we just want to thank everybody for participating and sticking it out with us. It was a long it was a long month.
Was a long month, and we did pretty well, didn't we? We had like the first 2 weeks covered early.
Yeah, which is great. And then there were some days where we just, it was like that morning we were making it, but by having that 2 weeks done ahead of time allowed us to like be able to do things like that. So
yeah,
we got it done and it was good. I think it's funny because like afterwards we're like, we're never doing that again. And then like a couple days later we're like, all right, no, we're gonna do it again. Like,
yeah, right. It's true. When you're done with it, you're always like, oh man, I never want to go through that again. What a slog. But I like to challenge myself, right? And you like to challenge yourself too. And this is a challenge. And so I like to have that hurdle of, I put something in front of myself and with the goal of achieving it. And I think that that's something that I really enjoy. And that 29 and 29 was a slog, but we got through it. I hope the subjects matter. The subjects were good for people. We tried to touch on a little of different subjects because, again, my interest is expanding out now, a little bit farther than our ships, themselves. But there's still a lot on the ships themselves, and I just like to cover the building programs and things like that. So I hope people seem to enjoy it. And yeah, it was a great engagement. It was great talking to people every night, and some of them even commented that they would have withdrawal as well. So that's appreciated from the drugs that are Shane and Steven. Yes. So, but thank you, everyone. Yeah, it was great to have you in there. Hopefully, and if you haven't caught up on all 29, I know some people were on vacation or they just didn't get to watch it. They're all still up there in a playlist, all right in order. So please review those sorts of things. And of course, we're always looking for topics and subjects. If you have one, please leave one right now in the comments. That you'd like to see us cover. I've done maybe 10 or 12 videos that were comment-driven topics, or doing a specific one for a specific person, sort of thing, and I love doing that. I was doing one this week. A guy contacted me who served aboard the Little Rock from 62 to 65, I think it was, and he says, "Oh, show me the dry stores." So we did an investigation like that one, like the Photo Lab investigation. Where I worked with the guy. I sent him some blueprint pictures, and he says, "No, I don't think it was this one." Because there were dry stores all over the place, dry provision spaces all over the place. So we finally located it. I went down there, and it was just unfilmable. So I hope to I hope to get back down there again. So, but that's a great example. But thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Stephen, now we're now it's kind of your topics here. Let's talk about the eclipse.
Yeah. So the eclipse, this is going to be a big deal in Buffalo. They're talking maybe an influx of 1 million people, which will be interesting to see if Buffalo's infrastructure can handle that.
The county itself is only 1 million people, where Erie County, where Buffalo is, and all its suburbs is about 1 million people. So we're doubling that for a weekend or something. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at like the Erie County Fair would probably be the closest thing, right? Like you get people from all over, and they probably see over 1 million people, but that's over the course of what, 10 days?
Right.
This is going to be a 3-day event. Well, really a 3-minute event, but people are coming into town. Saturday to Tuesday, I think, is what the county said is the average, and
Hmm.
I mean, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. The last time this happened was 99 years ago, 1925.
Hmm.
I actually found some Buffalo Evening News articles about the eclipse in 1925, which was cool.
That's cool.
But also, it's not happening again for I don't know, 120 years, I think.
Yeah, I've read something like that too.
So I was trying to explain to some people oh, I saw an eclipse when I was in school. It's like there are all these different types of eclipse, right? So this is a total solar eclipse, which is super rare, and it's actually rare for it to happen as often as it is in Buffalo. The fact that it's less than 100 years is an accomplishment in and of itself. It doesn't happen all the time. The last one the United States saw was 2017, and that one went, I believe, east to west or west to east, one of those ways. I'm not
sure.
Yeah, I'm not a
It could be,
scientist.
well, usually if it's going west to east, it's also going east to west, depending.
Right, but I don't know what the trail went. Maybe
the actual direction.
can
Sorry.
comment on that. Yeah, so
It's on the east-west axis somewhere.
Correct, and this one's going south to north. So Mexico and Texas will hit it. It'll hit first, and then it'll come up across, and then I think it just. Wow, excuse me. I think I know Bobby Brady over here. I think it just misses Toronto. So if you're in Toronto, come to Buffalo.
Right. So they'll get a partial, right? And
Yeah.
that's the way it is. There's the totality. And then as you get outward, you'll see 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%, right? Coverage.
Buffalo's on the center line of that totality.
Yeah.
So the totality might be 100 miles across, but we're right in the middle of that.
You know what I find cool is Little Rock, Arkansas.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, and actually, you're right. I've seen their eclipse page or whatever. It would have been cool to do something with them, maybe, but hindsight, right?
It would have been quite cool to contact Little Rock from the USS Little Rock about the solar eclipse. But so, what type of things do we have planned for that weekend?
So Saturday we're gonna do our encampment, and it's gonna be kind of an eclipse themed, although they won't be there for the eclipse itself. I thought it would be fun just to have a theme of that encampment. So for those of you that don't know, our overnight encampment is when we have scouts and youth groups and even just families come and they spend the night on the USS Little Rock. We really try to treat it like live the day like a sailor, or live the night. So we do safety briefings and dinner galley lines, and we'll have we do a fire drill, and then we do an educational piece. And actually, I think I'm changing it a little bit this year to call it training. So it's report for training at
cool
the whatever it is, 1815. So, and things we've covered in the past, we've done topics for that training. We've done Space Force, we've done code talking. We've done underwater archaeology, which is cool because that stemmed from when Blair was here.
Nice.
We'll be able to talk about the Juneau and then tie it into the Sullivans.
Nice.
So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. The kids love it. The parents love it. So that's going to actually be our first one of the season. And that one will be eclipse themed. Sunday will be open. We'll be just, having some eclipse themed, maybe a table set up and some activities for the kids. Nothing too crazy planned for Sunday though, but definitely come on down, especially if you're in town and you're um, viewing the eclipse somewhere else. Definitely come and check out the Naval Park on Sunday because we will be open, and Canal Side's going to be pretty wild that weekend. I'm looking forward. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or I'm scared.
I,
Like I don't know which one. I just plan on sleeping here the whole weekend because
yeah, I
I
think
don't
a
I
few
don't
of
want
us. Yeah, I think a few of us are because of the traffic, right? Like
to.
going.
Right.
I mean, I might not, but we'll see. I'm sure I will too. One of the questions here.
Yeah.
Next up.
So Buffalo is, so there are any cities along the center line. So Shane mentioned Little Rock will be on the center line, so they'll get pretty much the same thing. Anyone that's in that radius is going to get it. It's just a matter of how long they'll get it, right? So they might get it for a minute and a half, or not Little Rock will get it the same as us. So it's about
Right.
3 minutes and 45 seconds. You can actually go. There's 100 websites that talk about the totality and everything, and what cities will get what. NASA has a great website set up for. Excuse me, website set up for it. I think there's like an Eclipse 2024 website that talks about all the cities that it'll hit. Again,
Oh,
you'll like, so Rochester will see it. It's just not going to be for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Like we're going to see it.
well, and it won't be a totality either, right? Like it will be like
Um, y- right, because they're probably not in that, but yeah, it'll look like a partial eclipse to them
yeah.
as opposed to a total eclipse where it's going. And then so people think like, oh, how dark is it going to get? It's actually not going to get that dark. It's
Mm.
like, so think of like just after sunset, right? The sun sets, there's still a little glow in the sky. You could walk around and see things. It's not going to be pitch black, which a lot of people think that it might be. But
Oh, that's what I thought.
the way it was explained to me is
Disappointing.
just after sunset, right? So dusk. Um, so you're still going to be able to enjoy it. Now, Buffalo has a history of cloudy Aprils. So historically, it's
50-50, literally almost.
yeah. But the good thing is that I looked it up, in the past like 7 April 8ths have been sunny and nice. So let's
Oh,
just keep that trend going.
yeah. Just even for
Yeah, I
one
think
more year.
I think I went back to like 2017, and every single one of them was nice weather, like at worst partly cloudy.
Great. That is important
So yeah, and
because we want
even
to.
if it's cloudy, you're still gonna get, you're still gonna get the visual effect of it, right? It's gonna get darker.
Right.
Um,
No, that's.
but I think with all the stuff that's going on that weekend in town, that like people are gonna have a great time no matter what. Which brings us to our day on Monday. So um, we are inviting people. It's $79. You get to enjoy the day on the Little Rock. Uh, we're not opening the park to the public, so if you want to participate, but we're going to have a speaker from Space Force. We're going to have a speaker from uh, a VFW post from the reservation 1587, and they're going to be talking about Native American culture with Eclipse and their warriors. It was a big thing. So their warriors were their military before colonization. So they used the Eclipse were very important in that.
Hmm.
So they're going to be coming down and doing a presentation as well. And it's just a good way to get the Native American veteran community into the park, and that's something I like to do, is try to get all the communities that are veterans together and just be able to talk about their individual experiences in the military. So that'll be fun for that. Lunch is provided, glasses are provided. You'll get a nice swag bag with some giveaways, and it's just going to be a fun. And you'll be able to tour the ship, just like if you were to visit on a regular day. So I'm pretty excited for it, except for spending like 72 hours sleeping on a cot. That part I'm not excited about, but um,
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks so much for Yeah, thanks so much for explaining. So for $79, they're on all day, ex- exclusive because no one else will be on board.
Yep.
Uh, you get lunch, dinner. There'll be certain places, of course, even just down below from us is Liberty Hound. They will be open.
Liberty Hound will be open, and from what I understand, Canal Side is going to have food trucks there.
Oh, great!
Now the problem, I wouldn't call it a problem, but the thing is that nobody's going anywhere, right? It's over, but the traffic is going to be insane. So I highly recommend just sticking around Canal Side. There's so much to do down there. There's going to be tons of food. Have dinner, um, and then just it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be an event. 100 years in the making. Sorry, 99.
Whenever you say it's going to be wild, I always just think of a marketing thing for a zoo, right? Isn't that what they always say? Like
Sure,
it's
yeah.
wild. I don't know. It's just my own little thing. Cool, thanks. And you covered encampments a little bit, especially for
Yeah.
that weekend. You also have something coming up. Hey, Amnook. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue, huh?
It is a perfect segue. Thanks, guys and gals, for being here. We got Eric and Ed and Amnook, I believe, probably Doug, uh, Charlton. I don't know. Where's Hulk Hogan's tights? Because I'm here. Anyway, so why don't you? Yeah, that was a great segue into something that you'll be showing this year.
Yeah, so we had an exhibit up called Two Wars: The Road to Integration that was up for 2 years, and that was always the plan that it was just going to be up for 2 years. A lot of stuff was on loan. Some of that stuff, and I don't even know if I told you this yet, but some of that stuff is going to the National World War II Museum.
Great.
So they're going to be taking it from
Awesome.
Buffalo down there,
Nice.
and so I think it's pretty cool that some of our stuff will be down there.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so in its place, we have plans for 25, or lots of plans. Lots of ideas, I should say, that Shane and I have discussed, and where we're going to go with 2025 and beyond. But for 24,
You dropped. I can't hear you. Uh, Unmute. I think you're muted.
No way.
sorry, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Sorry, my AirPods fell out. And
Oh, geez. All right. It must have shut off. Sorry, everybody. Thank you. So,
yes. So we wanted to put something there. Something I've been pushing for a while is uh, baseball and the military.
oh,
So basically, we're going to cover Warren Spahn. He's probably the most famous left-handed pitcher, Hall of Famer, winningest left-handed pitcher. Grew up right here in good old Buffalo. Graduated from South Park High School.
and if you'd like to know more information, visit 29 and 29.
Yes, we do have a Warren Spahn video, and I just realized that I messed up in part of that, and I'm gonna have to make a correction to that.
It happens. It happens.
I know, but I said that his father died when he was a teenager, and apparently that wasn't true. So I have to reevaluate that. But I'm glad that I caught it. So
Yeah.
So we're doing this, and it's going to be other baseball players. So one of the players that I'm looking at is Yogi Berra, right? Famous Yankees catcher, manager for the Mets and the Yankees. The guy was at D-Day. I
Wow.
mean, like all these like crazy things that like nobody really knows about because they don't talk about it, right? You think of these guys as baseball players. So we're going to focus on a lot of that, a lot of these guys, which you don't see anymore, right? You don't see athletes leave to go to war, and it's a different time, of course. War is different now. There's no draft. There's no people, not the need as much as there was for people to
Right.
volunteer their time and go across. But these guys were the best in the game, and leaving to go fight. And I think it's like important that we honor these guys because they didn't have to do that.
Right. Well, I wonder if it was like society, right? Like they wanted to set, or at least attempt to set a good example of for others. There's always those propaganda stories coming out. Even the Sullivans is a propaganda story, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see that. We have Bob Calzoo that you are going to be maybe incorporating a little bit into that. Um, and yeah, so
Yeah, some of that, like, so I was researching a little bit yesterday, and do you know Pat Tillman? You've heard of Pat Tillman?
oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so Pat Tillman was somebody that did leave the NFL to go fight across in modern times, and so again, it's rare that you see it. But the thing I was looking at yesterday is there are a couple of guys in Major League Baseball right now that are active duty. Um,
Hmm.
so we have a guy in the Air Force, and then I think there's a guy that went to West Point and is still, I think, maybe in the reserves now.
Hmm.
Um, but there is a guy that's active duty Air Force, and he plays for the I don't know. I just looked at it yesterday, and now I forget. The Twins, the Minnesota Twins. Yes. So it's still there. It's definitely still there. I'd imagine if he was, called off to war, he would go. I think he has to, right?
If you're active.
But it's an interesting topic that I think is going to draw more people into the park, right? Like you're going to have baseball fans that are like, "Oh, I'm interested in seeing this. Let's go check this out." Hoping to work with a couple of the teams that are involved. I have reached out to some teams, some professional level teams, the Bisons, of course, because they're right in our backyard. And, again, Warren Spahn's from Buffalo, so they have a big connection with him. And actually, I just found this out yesterday while I was talking to someone at the Bisons. Do you remember the movie A League of Their Own?
Yes.
Okay, so the idea of A League of Their Own is that all the men are away at war.
Yeah.
The women, have this team. The head coach of the Buffalo Bisons, his mother was like the inspiration for that movie.
The current head coach,
The current head coach of the Bisons, yeah.
was
His
that
and they're
was that
and they're
Dottie woman, or is it it's based on a book, right? So
yeah, but it's based on a real person.
yeah, okay,
So the movie was the name Darcy, I think her name was maybe.
okay, all right.
Um,
Like you
but
said, the movie and the book are a fictionalized account of the story, maybe.
of real life, yeah. And I think that to this day that they're the only mother son professional baseball player duo in history. Which is
That's
kind of cool.
cool.
But and again, it's wartime related, and it comes right back here to Buffalo, which
Cool.
is a common theme that we see with all the topics that we cover, which is always nice. But yes, plan on having the exhibit fully open by June 1st. It will be, if you're in the park now, well, not right this second, but leading up to June 1st, you'll be able to see.
That's
you'll be
always
able to you'll be able to see the exhibit going up. We do have a picture, it's not a picture, sorry, a copy of the Sporting News, legit copy from 1943 or whatever it was. Joe DiMaggio on the cover, and it really drives home the point I'm trying to make. And it's like talking about how he goes from $40,000 a year to $50 or $50 a year or whatever it is, the exchange. And it's like still fighting for the Yanks, but in a different uniform.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So
I'm wondering if my computer will walk over there, and I could show that if you'd want me to.
yeah, if it'll work, go for it.
You think I should try it? Okay,
I
everybody.
don't know. You got your new fancy MacBook.
Come along. Let's see how well this works. All right. So far, so good, maybe.
Yeah, not even cutting out or nothing.
So, yeah, we're heading into our. Here it is. Nice.
So
There's
you
the
can see
actual.
stuff's coming down, but stuff is starting to go up. So yeah, about 40,000 a month to 50 bucks a month. And there's that title, still batting for Yanks. So I love that. That's really the message I'm trying to drive home with this is that, I mean, these are household names. Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, probably the most famous because he fought in World War II and Korea in both the Navy and the Marines. But as you can see, the wall is looking a little bare. There's some bolts from the last
Yeah.
exhibit, but those will be reused for the next one. So
You have a replica of the Milwaukee Braves.
I do. Unfortunately, it is just a replica, but we do have a Milwaukee Braves. That stuff in the corner there, that's from the last exhibit.
Oh,
Again, we're
yes.
switching over, but we do have that Milwaukee Braves jersey. We have a series of cards in there. If you want to just show again real quick in that. Sorry.
No, we're good.
These cards are cool. So in 2007, Topps Baseball released the Distinguished Series. I believe that's what it was called. And it's all people that were in the military that left. And yep, Bob Feller's one of them. Bob Feller will be a big top point of topic too, especially Cleveland's close again. They have this thing called the Bob Feller Act of Valor Award in Major League Baseball. So yeah, Bob Feller is a big name, big guy in the war too. So
nice. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that little inside look, I guess, right? Prior to its opening. Yeah. So thanks for coming along. I guess. Yeah, that's cool. And then we're kind of mapping out potential exhibits for 2025, 2026, because then it gets into the 250th of the founding of the country and the Navy
and Erie County
and the Erie Canal.
Erie Canal. Sorry. Yes. Sorry.
That'll be the 200th anniversary. So there's next year is going to be pretty packed with stuff for the
dry. Then we cap it off with hosting Hinza, right?
Yeah. So there's the Worldwide Canal Conference here. There's another National Maritime Conference, and then the Hinza Symposium will be here. So it's going to be, if we all survive, it will be quite a wild ride.
Oh, and then that little thing called hopefully dry docking too in 25.
Yes, right. Oh, yeah, right. Just the little thing called dry docking for hopefully late 2025 after successfully raising the $13 million that we are looking for. Cool. New Jersey Dry Dock. Does anyone want to talk about that a little bit? Johnny Pesky and Bob Feller. Okay, you got it. I think Spaceman Bill Lee's mother.
I'm going to look that up. Thank you, Amnok. I'm interested in seeing that.
It seems though you have. As I said earlier, when we came on, we kind of caught some of the dry docking for the New Jersey. The kid. I'm always talking to Tim Nesmith down there, and they're just waiting for the water to rise a little bit so they can get her out of the cradle, disconnect her from her mooring mounts and ring system that they have, and then do that. The Cobia, USS Cobia, they are looking to get to dry dock soon in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and then hopefully, because one of the advantages of those places is there's dry docks very close to where they are located. There used to be dry docks right down here on Ganson Street, but they probably closed in the 60s or something. So that would be half a mile away. But we're looking at maybe a 22-hour trip. So other concerns there, of course. Sorry, I just shifted. Do you want to follow up and say anything else with that?
No.
The baseball stuff? Did I embarrass you?
No, why?
Because you're just like, oh, God.
Oh, I was like this.
Oh, here comes Shane again. Oh, no.
That's no.
All right.
Actually, I'll end the baseball thing with this. So opening day for the Bisons is Friday.
Yeah.
What do you think the giveaway is for the fans that day?
Oh, my word.
Only in Buffalo would they do this.
Okay. Celery? I don't know.
That's a good guess. Ice scrapers for cars.
Oh, love it. Love it. They might do that in Minneapolis too. But
yeah, I think Minneapolis is indoors. something that maybe Buffalo should think about.
No, never. I was at a couple, I had friends, they were in Buffalo for about 10 years or so, and then they came from Cleveland, moved here, and then moved elsewhere in the country. But they're huge, they have the file cabinets of game day, taking notes, all of those things that people do, when what is that, a scorecard, maybe?
Yeah.
Right. So I went with them to a couple openings, and yeah, it was like, 20 degrees in some of them,
So cold.
20
It's supposed to be
people.
45 this Friday for
Oh, that's
opening day.
yeah,
So,
they'll be nice.
yeah.
Bundle up a little bit because the wind will be whipping around. But yeah, Ed was going to say chicken wings, I guess. Right? Good guess too. Yeah, I think for the let's see, I have kind of given some stuff with me. The collections are always kind of there. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, please sign up for our newsletter. We have a lot of information monthly that goes out about the ships, about I have a little curator's corner there, so I talk about kind of what's going on in the collections, things like that. So you can find our newsletter on our website, and you can register, and then you'll get it monthly. All right, so it's a nice thing to keep you up to date with things, with photographs and articles. For lack of a better word, they're articles kind of thing. Each on our vessels. So check those out. So I just wrote one for this month's about looking to process, two big projects with some volunteers. That U.S. Navy Cruiser Sailors Association collection that I've been talking about. Stephen just wants to plug his other ear, I'm sure, because I've talked about it quite a bit. But getting those from the association after they folded. And then creating a ready reference file for all of our United States Naval Institute proceeding magazines. So they're in storage right now, not that great of storage, and creating a ready reference file and using those articles to fill in the file is a great entrance way for people just looking for general information or specific information. So that's some of the things that I'll be doing hopefully this summer. A ton of curator tours. I think I'm offering 60 this year, which is a lot.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think last year was 48, I think. So I bumped it up just a little bit. But again, this is like April through November, the last one being on Black Friday after Thanksgiving to try and capture people who are home visiting family. But this year, adding the PTF boat. So we're not interior yet, but at least getting people up to the main deck of the PTF and, talking about her service, which is not something we've done in the past before. So looking forward to that. And then I have 8 University Express talks. So I go out in the community and I have 8 between May and June. And most of those are about the Sullivan family. So again, Stephen and I went to Grout, and in Waterloo, we met with Nick and Ken and a few others. And, we just gathered all of this great information about the Sullivan family. And, so talking in depth about the Sullivan family and what they went through and, the track their lives took prior to and after the boys perishing. So it's people seem to have some great interest in that. And so I'll be doing a lot of those. And then just, working, our customers are the most important things here. And, greeting people, doing pop-up tour, pop-up stations, where I'll just stand somewhere for the day and then greet people and, giving people the best experience that they can.
Yeah, I think that's a great part of our job too. It's just like being able to interact, especially a nice day when you're just like in the office and you're just like, I need to get out. And then you get out and then you talk to people and they ask you questions and they're like, oh, this is cool. Or they have a great story. Like my grandfather served on the Little Rock, or
Totally.
that part's the great part about this job is being able to interact with the people.
Yeah, because there's such a variety. There's people that have no idea about a ship but kind of find it interesting. There's people that served aboard. There's family members, like you had just said, like they're here to honor their dad or granddad, and it means something to walk on the ship that their family member did, and then maybe now they're not here anymore. So there's a wide variety. You know,
Yeah.
we have a
And then
lot
you
of
get the people that from other countries, and
totally,
they're just like, "Oh, we're here for whatever reason. We thought this would be cool." And it's like, "Well, welcome. Like this is, you
yeah.
get to check out a little." And people are always fascinated with the ships, and um,
Yeah, I don't know
great.
I don't know how best to say this, but every season now, I'm starting my sixth summer here, I think. And every season we get groups of, I don't know if I'm going to say this, but like Buddhist monks, you know, and there's like 12 of them, and
Yeah,
they're walking around with their sandals, and then their
garbs.
yeah, if that's the right way of saying it, their garb with the sashes and things, and it's quite interesting, you know, to see that diversity of people on board.
Yeah.
It's cool. Would love to volunteer. Doug Days would love to volunteer. Okay, if you head to our website, buffalonavalpark.org, there is a volunteer form. You would check off what kind of department you're interested in volunteering in, whether it's education with Stephen, collections with me, generalized maintenance of the ship with Bill Abbott and the crew. And then you will be reached out to by that individual person to set up a schedule and to meet and to get you involved and to bring you down. So thank you very much. We're looking to build a volunteer program after many years of not having a volunteer program. So uh yeah, that might be it. We have 21 people watching. Hey everybody. Thanks for being here. And again, we decided to do this because we were going to open today, but some snow fell, so we had to cancel the opening ceremony. It now will be Wednesday, the 29th of March. And but we still wanted to come and engage with you guys. So, Stephen, you have. Hey, F man. Yeah, expecting New Jersey to arrive at Philly this Wednesday. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Michael. Thank you. Remember to
Yes,
like and subscribe.
you know he's been
So
doing
let's
that
talk about.
lately. I love it.
I love that, but let's talk about that. We're what? How many away from 10,000?
Oh, good call. Well, right now I think we are 192 away from 10,000 subscribers. So please pass it around. All right, we want
Yes.
to get to 10,000. We are, you know, because of the video, that accident video is doing quite well. 15,000 views, I think. So that's been bumping our subscribers up a little bit with Tim Nesmith and the accident that he had aboard USS Kidd. And so we spoke a couple of weeks ago at that at our St. Patrick's Day thing. So we've really cut into. We're almost nearing 1 million views, which we're very proud of as well. The little engine that could, I guess. And I've learned so much since we started the channel 3 years ago, I think it was, or 4 years ago now, maybe, or soon to
Oh
be
my
4
God,
years.
yeah. Just the amount of information that I mean, this is a type of job where you're constantly learning, right? There's never a point where you're just like, I know everything. Like it's just you're constantly learning new information, and
Correct.
it's I mean, there's just an unlimited amount of information that just in this small industry that we can learn. Like
Correct.
it's insane.
Yeah. And what it does is it has that strange effect of teaching you what you actually don't know, right? By the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know, right?
Right.
And that's something that is really a joy to come here. And yeah, I make mistakes all the time. All right. So I hope you guys, it seems though you guys are okay with that. And if I correct it, that's great because yeah, there's so many layers to this, and then you say, this is something I don't know. We've got a freight barge leaving General Mills today. I don't know if I'll be able to capture it, but that might be a good exit point. Oh, it's the H. Lee White, the famous ship that comes in, the famous lake freighter that comes in and drops grain off at General Mills. Anyway, because I keep seeing something moving in my line of sight here.
That's why
So,
our city smells like
yeah,
Cheerios, and sometimes Lucky Charms if you're lucky.
Yeah, sometimes it smells great, right? So yes, our city does smell like Cheerios, especially in the mornings. You'll catch that nice whiff of a huge. It's like you're floating in a big bowl of creamy milk with
Especially on hot days. It's just like I could smell it if through my car, through the windows of my car. My car could be all the windows closed, and I could smell the Cheerios.
yeah, because it's coming in through the engine block or something. Yeah, that's true. Snow in Buffalo, yes, Amnook. F-Man, that's the museum community in general. I'm finding the artifacts. Oh, I'm just going to bring this up. Let's see what he says.
Yeah.
The artifacts are old, but the scholar. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for being here. I don't think I've seen you comment before, F-Man. So thank you for watching and checking in with us. That is one of those things, that it's if you're not growing in this job, something's up, right? Because there's always about growing, always about learning something new. Every time Stephen and I talk to an old salt, we're getting something new. And again, because the ships were in service, so it's across multiple years. So even their lives were not static, right? Someone will come in and say something about 1967, then 2 weeks later we see someone from 1971, and it's different.
Right. But even like the Sullivan's a great example, right? 45 to, what was it, 65?
Yeah, 43 to 65. Yeah.
43 to 65. I mean, those are two different generations of people. There were people that served on the Sullivans that weren't born when the Sullivans first went out.
Yeah, that's a good way
You
of
know what I
thinking about
mean?
it. If they're 18, yeah, totally. That's amazing. And there
And
she
especially
is,
with the Little Rock, pre-conversion,
right?
and then post-conversion. I mean,
Totally
you're
different.
totally
Yeah.
different worlds.
With
Cold War. I mean, World War II to Cold War, and
yeah. And it's important to continue to tell those stories. All right, I got to see if I can. I know you know how it is when it's bright outside. Maybe the camera won't work, but here's the H. Lee. Maybe, am I getting it?
yeah, right in front of the grain elevator.
Oh yeah, the black hull, the H. Lee White. Everybody, cool. Well, any other final questions from anyone watching? Thanks for checking in today. This is great, and we're glad that we can bring this to you today. The fruit smell rules. Thank you, Doug. Yes, Doug must be around the area. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, he must be around the area if he's interested in volunteering. And yeah, Cheerios. What did you say? Lucky Charms. Yeah.
Lucky Charms, those marshmallows on a hot day in the
Oh,
summer.
Ed says I can remember the shredded wheat plant in Niagara Falls. Yes, I remember that as well. Shredded wheat. Yeah, one of the very earliest shredded wheat plants. Nabisco, which was the National Biscuit Company, established a plant up there very early. Just like we had a Nabisco plant here in Buffalo, which is now the home of the milk bone. So that's where they make most of the milk bones in the country is about 2 miles away from here. Anyway, I love that stuff. But oh, very good, Cam. You're hanging out in Florida. Good for you. I like that. Thanks for still checking in while you're sitting on a beach somewhere or looking at a hotel room.
We're hanging out with Mickey Mouse.
Or hanging out with Mickey Mouse. That's true. Anything else from you, Stephen?
No, just ready to get into it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were all like pumping for today, and
I mean, yesterday was just insane. I had I got a million things to do today, and I still have probably 999,000 things to do. But let's just pull the Band-Aid off and open the park and get in there and just start the season and worry about it throughout the season. But I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good problem to have, is that we have so much to offer.
We do. And yeah, the crew has done an amazing job on board the ship, painting, refreshing. We converted some spaces. So if you remember, I did a video or two on the ship's store, member only video. And yeah, so if you come by, you'll see 3 or 4 spaces on the tour route that have been refreshed and updated and changed. Right, they
Well,
were
the
open.
ship store is pretty much completely new, right?
It is, yeah, it is new
Yeah.
from the season, and the cruise lounge. So we did that, and my gosh, the radio, the I did a video on the radio station compartment with, yeah, so it's good. Hopefully, we'll see you. I work next to the Flower Bakery in Baton Rouge. We have a community. You get to smell. Thanks, Eric. You get to smell bread and coffee all day. That's not a bad smell. Bread and coffee, that's good. I like that. All right, Stephen.
Yeah.
Stay home, stay bundled. Yeah. That won't come through. There it is.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Nice. So she comes, oh my God. Well, I don't have the schedule. There are websites that have the schedules out, but it seems though, my God, once a week she's here. Great. Thank you so very much, everybody. And we'll see you again on the next live stream / video. And again, thanks for all your continued support. Please share our YouTube with friends and family, strangers. Right, we're so close to 10,000 views. We're so close, or 10,000 subscribers. We're so close to 1 million views. We're only about 20,000, 25,000 views away from 1 million. So we'd like to get there, and with your support, I really greatly appreciate it. Not saying anything, Stephen? Okay. Okay, there it is.
No, yeah. Again, so I can't reiterate it enough. You guys are great in this community that we've built, and we'd love to expand it. So thank you guys for tuning in all the time and watching our videos, and it really means a lot. So
it does. It means a great deal. And I would hope that we would be able to physically meet you, at some point throughout the season of our lives here as we intersect in this way. It would be great to meet each and every one of you. All right. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.